Well, had a lot of great friends in NASCAR. Kept really good contact with what was my car chief at Roush, with Cody Efall. And Cody put together a team kind of with Nice and Al Nice. And TJ, good friend. Motocross one of them. No, sorry.
I wanted it. I didn't even try.
But from Reno area, which is funny because there's a lot of motocross. A lot of my good friends are friends with TJ. So everything kind of worked out really awesome where Cody called up and said, hey, we'd like to get you in a car this year. I said, man, I'm doing the entire national championship for North America Rally. There's a couple pavement stages. There's a lot of pavement stuff, and I need to get with TJ to really figure out, and with Crafton and with all these other guys that have come from the truck, even Scott Speed, who's so dominant in GRC, and said, look, I need all the experience I can get. You guys have come over to the rally car stuff and really been dominant force, and I would like to get back into NASCAR. Right when I got in, I had my first child and had some great opportunities with Nitro Circus, which is still doing great, which I'm very happy about, and still doing a lot of those events, but cutting that back a little bit, racing is where my heart is. And even though I couldn't figure out the pavement, it's something that I really want to put the time into eventually, and having this opportunity to get out there and finding some really awesome sponsors to be able to just have some fun this year, see what we can do, hopefully keep my name in there and get some tips from this guy. It's going to be a good time.
With stage racing, is that going to change your approach at Vegas or not?
I mean, my approach was always go like hell and try to do the best you can. So not really. I mean, tires.
We're gonna change his approach a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I should talk to the team. Yeah, I don't know yet, but I'm sure yes, probably. So yes, I'll talk to this guy. He'll tell me what to do.
You mentioned Nitro Circus. You have anything coming up? People can look forward to, or are you going to kind of cut that back to kind of focus on the racing?
Right now, what's the best part is that Nitro Circus, we're developing more and more stuff for the youth, basically to come in, open qualifying for a World Championship event with Nitro World Games, and touring. There's almost 80 events this year, and there'll be more next year. So we get to pick a lot of local talent up, but it gives myself a chance. My job with Nitro is basically to engineer the ramps, to make sure that we have the safest and the best landing and the biggest jumps possible, and to get as many kids and adults up to that level where they can perform. We can have multiple shows on multiple continents going on at the same time. But for me, that's what I do for fun. Although it has been my day job, if you will. What I'm passionate about is racing, and any racer will tell you that.
Now you mentioned you're going to change his approach. How do you change his approach? His approach is what he is. What are you going to try to do to make?
My thought process about Travis has been the same as when Ricky Carmichael came in as well. These guys have the mentality on a motocross bike that if they charge harder, they can go faster. In stock car stuff, I learned of it the very hard way, wrecking a bunch of stuff myself. The harder you charge, the more you wreck. You can only go as fast as your car, and you have to go to those limitations. So we're going to try and really work on getting the car where he needs it for him to be comfortable to start charging without getting out of shape.
Is that in your DNA?
In rally, it took a few years, but with the co-driver, what was awesome was, we went an entire season, this was 2008, without finishing off the podium, like no crashes, and it basically slowed us down where we were taking a lot of seconds and thirds, where in racing, motocross, my whole mentality was kind of that amateur mentality of, if you're not first, you're last. I hate to quote Ricky Bobby on this, but no matter where I was always like, we have to go for the win, and then rally taught me about championships. Still have a lot to learn on pavement, and with what's been really cool is even guys on my team, guys against me, guys like Scott Speed, guys like Matt Crafton, Stenhouse, Trevor Bain, have all reached out, even guys like Jimmy Johnson and TJ, and going to the go-kart track. As silly as it sounds, I'm like, yeah, shifter karts are awesome. They're like, no, you can drive a shifter kart, fine, let's get Rotax, roll speed. It's about seeing how much momentum you can carry, not losing speed. It's not about, in a rally car, 0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds. I can make a lot of mistakes and be right back up to speed. But when you're averaging, you're doing 180 miles an hour in a corner, no matter how much power it has, it doesn't pick up that speed quite as quick. And you don't have all-wheel drives to pull you out of crashes. Sorry. Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You're supposed to test the truck tomorrow, I believe. What are your expectations for tomorrow over at Charlotte?
Not saying I was really great anywhere, but Charlotte was really tough for me. I crashed. I think in the race I did in Charlotte, I did a couple, but the one race I crashed in qualifying. He's closing his ears because this truck is going to be his truck for the Charlotte race. So I crashed in qualifying off turn 4, and then I crashed twice in the race coming off of turn 4. So I figured if I can figure out turn 4, so TJ's going to be talking me through that. Well, that'll be good. But honestly, it's just get the feel back up to speed. I did a truck race in Vegas 2 years ago, and it took me so long to get back up to speed that the tires, by the time I was there, were pretty much worn off. And I really went into qualifying. I was just behind the 8 ball the whole time. Where this year, hopefully with this test, with the help of Cody and all of Nice Motorsports, as well as TJ being in my ear, which I think is going to be really good to have a racer, someone that I know really well that knows what I'm thinking. It was really good with Crafton when he was a spotter. And I think TJ is going to be great to get me up to speed quicker, but not, and keep me from, hopefully, no pressure.
Holding the reins.
Yeah, holding the reins.
A little bit.
Go faster, too fast.
You mentioned sponsors or trying to get. Do you have anybody definitively going to be with you that you can talk about, or anybody that you can share with us here today?
No, this is the coolest big group of sponsors I've ever had. We got Wiener Schnitzel. We got Black Rifle Coffee. These are guys these are friends. Talking to JR, he did his first balloon base jump, and first time out, gainer out. This is a really, really fun crew. Alpine Stars is on board, and they make great stuff. They didn't have to sponsor me in any way, shape, or form, but they got me in my first ever car race. They helped me all the way through rally. They got me in my first drive in a WRC car when I was 17, and I destroyed the car, and they still have backed me up for everything we've done since. So Gabrielle's is on board, which is pretty cool. The Palms came on and said, look, it's always a good time when you're in Vegas. So the whole crew's covered with the Palms, which is yes. But they only give us low rooms because we have a tendency to jump off, and I guess now it's a felony. So they said they're not bailing us out anymore. With that crew, it's gonna be a lot of fun.
What are some of your challenges you're looking for, as you go forward with this? What are some of the things you're excited about?
And actually, sorry, shouldn't have forgotten. Nitro Circus also jumped on board because Silencer Co. Yes. Oh, did I just say Silencer Co? Sure. Silencer Co. Why did you not jump up from the back, man? What? Come on. Oh yeah, just right by. No, Silencer Co. But this is it's very me. This is very Nitro. It's very wide open. It's a very fun group. This group is a loud group. We like to have fun. We're going to go there and we're going to put in, I am driving almost every day something. And this has been the most that I've driven since 2010. We won our last rally championship. Nitro is still a huge priority, but it's awesome this year that the kids are growing up a little bit. Everything gives me the opportunity to be on these vehicles with a group that a lot of these guys didn't know a lot about NASCAR, and they're in just to say, hey, look, we're here to have a good time. We're here to blow stuff up. So it's going to be great. Sorry, I forgot your next question.
You say you have a passion for racing, you want to add or continue racing. Any chance you're going to add to your schedule either this year or next year?
I would definitely love to. It's basically comes down to funding for this year. Love to do Chicago as well. I felt like last year or 2 years ago when I did the last truck race, by the end of the race we felt good, and we were actually we came out of the pits right behind Crafton, and I'm sure he was conserving gas and whatever, but we were right there. I was right on. He was I'll whatever. But we were, I felt by the end of that race we're competitive. We're not getting dropped by the top cars. The more races you do, the more competitive you get, the better our team gets. The Nice team is it's a new team, but it has a lot of experience. And Cody Efall, I believe, as the car chief now, he was the crew chief. He was the car chief on my Roush team, giving him the reins to make some decisions on this. I really believe, and with the sponsors that we have, with the backing that we have, the the amount of fun that we're going to have, I think, and the amount of track time we're going to get through every other form of racing we've been doing, I think we have a lot more to offer than I did when I was at Roush. Not against Roush, just that I've been driving more road stuff. I've been doing more circuit racing. I've been doing more go-karts. I figured out pavement a little bit better. On our last rally, I lost that rally 4 years ago because of the pavement section. I lost about 25 seconds on the pavement. This year, I lost a total of 0.2 over all 6 pavement stages. So, still not winning, but we're getting better.
I have one from one of our social media. Of all your X Games events that you won, was there any one that was your favorite? That was something that one of our fans asked us to ask you.
You know, I looked at X Games at the beginning as a competition, and you know, obviously when you're 15 and have a chance to compete on that level, it was pretty amazing. But I'd say my last year coming back, broke my collarbone 2 weeks before. One of my best friends who challenged me, Bilko, broke his collarbone 2 weeks before. He said his doctor was better than my doctor, and I bet you old fart can't come back. And then he pulled out right before, and ended up, it was a great event. But to come back a little bit older, I shouldn't say he's still competitive, but to actually enjoy what you're doing instead of going out there as this is my job, going out there saying, I get to ride a dirt bike for a living. I get to drive a car. I get to hang out with Street Bike Tommy and freaking JT and like all these guys and have a great time. And I think that's really helped, instead of going out there and having to win every race or crashing, to go, what can we do? How can we have the most fun we can have? How can we bring in the most people to this? And how can we surround ourselves by the best people to get the best result? So 2010 X Games.